When I woke up on that morning, when I saw the horrific photographs, then I would imagine, like any other reasonable human being in the country, I was overwhelmed with horror, um, which, as news reports continued to come in, was mingled with a mounting sense of anger that this should have been allowed to happen. And we don't seem to have an adequate support system set up in this country to actually help the survivors when this has happened. When I was first asked by Kieron Gillen if I'd like to contribute to 24 panels, the first person that I thought of, the only person that I thought of collaborating with, was Melinda. We'd previously done the 9/11 benefit book, and we'd been pleased with what we'd done on that. Now, we were told that, understandably, this was a benefit comic for survivors of trauma, and that we should not include anything which could be considered as a trigger image. This initially raised a couple of problems. It made us think about how to talk about Grenfell Towers without using that kind of imagery. And eventually I came up with the idea, between me and Melinda, of doing If Einstein's Right, which was an attempt to apply the ideas of eternalism, which suggests that every single moment of everybody's lives is there in space-time eternally. It was an attempt to apply that idea to the victims of the fire, to actually picture them at some of the best moments of their lives, and to say those moments are eternal, those moments are not gone, those moments are not destroyed. And also to look at some of the people who were responsible for the Grenfell Towers fire, and to say that yes, their shame, their disgrace, that too is eternal, that too endures forever. It was a very interesting and moving piece to work on. I found myself going through a lot of emotional responses: empathy, sort of sorrow, anger. However, as the writer, I am not going to be going through those responses for as long as Melinda had to as the artist. I think that she found it very, very harrowing. She lays down just layer after layer of different colours to get a flesh tone. It's really remarkably intense work, but it gives that warmth and that humanity and that vibrancy to the victims of the fire that we wanted to eulogise. Whereas for those responsible for the fire, we decided to go for harsh black and white to make that stark contrast between the very different kinds of human beings that we were presenting. By the time that we had finished the work, we both thought that it was one of the best things that we had done, certainly recently, and we both felt very, very glad that we had done it. As I am sitting doing this interview, I perhaps should remark that about an hour ago I finished writing my last ever comic. So I'm at an unusual juncture in my particular career here. That's not to say that I wouldn't be happy to do comic strips in the future of this nature, because I can think of nothing more valuable than to gather around and help those people in our community who are suffering. I think it is our duty as human beings to put a special effort into making sure that everybody is okay. So I think that it is vital that projects like 24 panels exist and that they continue to exist for all of our sakes.